So, our adventure begins. Our future Banhammer main boots up fighting for the first time. And there it is. A giant 6'11" guy with a massive hammer. Sure, there are 14 classes to choose from, but come on. How could anyone resist picking the literal human tank with a weapon that can make funny ragdolls? Without knowing much about the game, our new player jumps in, and guess what? They're having a blast, even if they don't really know what they're doing yet. Ah, the sweet taste of beginner's luck. Our Banhammer main quickly realizes that this class can dish out serious damage without much effort. People keep walking into Banhammer's range for no reason at all when our Banhammer main starts getting some quite lucky kill streaks. They've got this, right? Well, no. This false sense of skill makes them overextend all the time, but when they finally get punished for it, either by getting overwhelmed or simply outplayed, they're left quite confused. So, while it looks like our Banhammer is on track to become a pro really quickly, this could not be further from the truth. Banhammer is quite a unique class, as in, he doesn't regen shield naturally. This means managing your health and shield is necessary to do well on Banhammer, which our Banhammer main is starting to find out about. They occasionally get kill streaks and semi-decent numbers on the MVP screen, but consistency is a whole other story. Every time our Banhammer main gets focus fired, they're basically dead. They don't really have the game knowledge or skill to really deal with that yet. This frustration gets our Banhammer main to figure out what the other classes do. Now that our Banhammer main has some basic knowledge about the other classes, they jump back in hoping that they can counterplay the other classes now. But let's be honest here. Just knowing the abilities doesn't magically make you better at the game. In their struggle, our Banhammer main gets a false sense of the ranged classes being OP. They often silently blame their teammates for not helping them enough, but we all know that it's likely our Banhammer main that's the issue here. Bro, I swear to God, these ranged classes are literally so OP, I literally can't do anything. Oh my god, where the fuck is my team? Out of a form of frustration, our Banhammer main starts to read up on some guides. This is the turning point where they stop being like an ooga booga player and actually start thinking about the game. They learn about the importance of cover, how to hit their finisher more consistently, and start to understand matchups a lot better. They try to work with their team, or well, they think they are. Like, sure, saving your medkit once is great, but that doesn't mean that hyperlasering the backlines is suddenly safe from all dangers.
You saved me, Banhammer. Thank you.
This is also the stage in which our Banhammer main starts getting obsessed with using flying verdicts. They use it at every opportunity, because why do something simple but effective when you can fly at your enemies at Mach 15 and look super cool while doing it? Right? Right? Now we're talking about the good stuff. Our Banhammer main has been putting in some effort into actually improving, and it's starting to pay off. They start to get MVPs more often, and in opens they often lead their teams, if there's any synergy at all, and they're experimenting with some of the tech that they heard about. Yeah, there you go. They find out about B-hopping and just do it a lot in private servers, yet never actually intentionally apply it into a game. Besides B-hopping, they also learn about range extension and try to apply it in a few games, but then decide not to do that anymore after trying 3 games because they just can't seem to comprehend both game sense and range extension at the same time. Since Banhammer isn't mechanically too hard to get the hang of, Our player gets into scrims fairly early. The jump from opens to scrims is of course a bit of a shock, but they manage to barely keep up. They generally have a great time playing with other competent players, even if they feel the huge difference in performance. They also keep trying their best to get down that pesky little range extension stuff, but it's just so hard to implement it into your games. Scrim after scrim. Our Banhammer starts to notice a pattern. They're always the one playing tank. Like, sure, they're good at it, but like, come on, a bit of variety is necessary too. The demand for tank players is high, and they start feeling a little stuck. So, what do? They begin practicing other classes. Most pick sword or any other ranged class, just to catch a break from doing the same thing all the time. Some of them even consider switching mains entirely at this stage. After trying out the other classes, our Banhammer main realizes that nothing else clicks quite like Banhammer does. So, what's the plan? They go all in. They work on mastering both the mechanical aspects and the game sense to make sure they become one of the best Banhammer players out there. They start getting consistent with range extension, leading their team, and generally becoming a key player within scrims. And pub stomping? Yeah, that's pretty easy to do now. This stage is usually the one that lasts the longest, because mastering Banhammer is just really hard to do. We arrive at stage 10, a stage not many players reach. After spending ages in stage 9, our Banhammer main has gotten so good at Banhammer that they could honestly just be called a demigod. Get it, because Banhammer is a demigod? No one is safe from them, and if you're at half health with this Banhammer in the game, you might as well just start praying. When this Banhammer is paired with a support, they become an unstoppable force. This player is someone to take seriously and never to be underestimated. Okay, so I promise I won't put stuff like this in the end of videos more often, but I want to give a huge special thanks to Medoc. For what, you might ask? Well, they're kind of the reason I picked up Banhammer to begin with, and they indirectly helped me actually get good at it too. They made the Banhammer guide and whatnot, so like, yeah, that's kind of how I learned Banhammer. Seeing them ask me about a Banhammer version for the 10 stages videos, along with like countless others, kind of got me to make this video. So yeah, just thanks to Medoc in specific, and well, also to everyone else that's just watching these videos. Like, the support is insane.